This is the time of year where you start looking across other parts of the U.S. and you go, oh, 60s and 70s, that sounds pretty nice. And then you look at the Gulf South and we're looking right along the Gulf Coast at temperatures in the lower 90s and pretty solidly from Houston to Lake Charles, New Orleans and Pensacola. Houston, a hot 94 right now. At least we're not quite there yet. Temperatures north of the lake and actually a lot of spots south too are not quite at 90, but the Kenner Airport has jumped to 91. And looking at the feels like temperature with the dew points that I'll show you in a second, you can see not too bad north of the lake, only feeling like upper 80s at Slidell and Poplarville, feeling like 90s to about 100 for a lot of our south of the lake locations. So we've been talking about this week, we were expecting the lower humidity, and it's a little lower, but actually some spots not all that much different for our feels like and our mugginess. For example, the south of the lake spots are there in the 70s for our dew points. We have blue sky. It's still going to be a hot day, not a lot of rain, but the bigger difference right now is north of Lake Pontchartrain with those dew point temperatures in the 60s. We actually do have a surface front to our south. This is what's pulled that slightly drier air just enough into our area to make our North Shore spots feeling less humid. Looking at precision cast, our model has a couple of coastal showers or storms today. We haven't seen all that much rain though. We're going to keep the rain chance the next couple of days very slim at 10% or so. The front sort of hovers near our coast in the next few days. So looking ahead into Wednesday, this is in the morning pretty quiet. A coastal shower or storm not out of the question tomorrow, although this model might be overdoing it. The front is still just kind of pulling up here near our coast and stopping. So we'll continue with similar conditions Wednesday and Thursday. And then by the end of the week, another front will slide in, and that will not unfortunately bring any of that cooler air or drier air this time, but rather just bring the rain chance up, it looks like, Friday and then into Saturday. Today, high temperatures still stuck lower to middle 90s. We haven't really changed that just yet. Our lows tonight will be 71 or so north of the lake and middle 70s still south of the lake. Mostly clear and not too humid. Looking at that humidity forecast, these changes are kind of subtle, but you can see it's not too bad through today, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll see if at points in the day it comes down a little bit more for areas south of the lake. Friday and Saturday it goes back up as the front drops in. Showers and storms start to form along it, so lower temperatures due to the rain, but more mugginess likely. It drops a little bit if that front is able to cross south of our coastline, and then actually one model at least has this even drier for Tuesday and Wednesday with that humidity coming down with that next front. Potentially, we're still a ways out from that though. We in the tropics only have tropical storm Fernand. That's it. That's the only spot highlighted for any sort of development. We don't have any spots like that, and this is the only active storm. And actually, it is not very strong. It's barely hanging on to tropical storm status at this point on Tuesday. And you can see here's the center. There is no convection or showers and storms surrounding the center. It is going to move over some slightly warmer water, so the National Hurricane Center nudges up the winds a tiny bit in the next day or so, but then has it sort of collapsing over cooler waters by Wednesday. So Fernand, not a big storm at all. As we look at Gabrielle and Umberto, those would be the next names, but we haven't gotten there yet. Looking at the season, we've had 6 named storms. The average at this point in August is 5. The ACE, accumulated cyclone energy, is 37. The average is 24. So we're actually above average as far as the energy goes, and that is almost all due to Hurricane Erin, which of course blew up to a Category 5. It hung around for a long time, and that's what the accumulated cyclone energy takes into account. It looks at those factors as well as just the number of storms that you have. So we're kind of about average or a bit above average at this point in the season, expecting a big uptick in activity as we get toward the peak in early September. But actually for the next 7 days at least, there's no development expected. So no threats here. A nice kind of quiet stretch at this point in August. 7-day forecast shows our temperatures not terrible over the next couple of days, but still pretty hot. And then the temperatures come down, it looks like, by this weekend with that increase in rain Friday and Saturday, and then a little bit of a drier forecast for Sunday and Labor Day.